My great-grandfather, he moved up originally out of Italy, then to the city, and he wanted to get out of the city, so he bought a farm. Knew nothing about it, and here we are today, so worked out good.
In 1985 or 7, Frank started mainly taking over the farm with my grandfather. And when I was in early days of high school, junior high, I started working with him full-time, going to school. And when I graduated, we had purchased this farm, and I became a full partner, and we've been going at it ever since.
We're milking dairy cows. We run about 60 beef, maybe 50 sheep. In the spring we could have 150 pigs.
We crop 2,500 plus acres, hay, corn. We do some harvesting for other farms.
I've been doing this all my life, watching my dad and uncle do it, and I've always loved it. And eventually when I get out of college, I want to take over the dairy farm.
We're here today at Albano Farms with Frank and Mark Albano to talk about their work with the New York City watershed and the Watershed Ag Program. Frank, when did you guys start with the Watershed Ag Program?
We started being a participant with the Watershed Ag Program in 1995.
Some of the BMPs that we've installed on this farm, a manure storage, which was installed in 2000. We also have a new manure storage, which is planned in the whole farm plan to be implemented in the next few years. A milk house waste system, a calf facility. We're standing in the new calf facility. When was the original calf facility installed?
That was
04.
Yeah, December of 2004.
Recently we grew out of that calf barn, and it was just overcrowded, so the watershed stepped in and helped us build a bigger calf barn, more efficient. It's all robotic, it saves on labor. Calves are so much healthier.
We monitor the calves daily, weights, health, intakes. Everything is contained and handled in a proper manner.
Every calf in the calf facility here has an RFID chip embedded in their ear tag. And so when they walk into this automated calf feeder stall, there is a reader in there which reads that ear tag and knows which calf is in there. It then allows them to drink a certain amount, and there's a set amount of milk that each calf is allotted for the day. And this machine right here has the computer system in it that determines how much milk they can get, and it actually mixes up in here. There is a mix bowl, and you can see it doing it right now, and it fills up with milk, and then the calf is able to drink through that long tube from each individual drinking station. When she's reached the amount of milk that she can have for that feeding, the computer system here will automatically shut her off, so then she'll stop drinking, and then it runs a wash cycle where it sprays off the nipple where she was drinking and the area around where she was drinking, and cleans it and sets it up and is ready for the next calf. Mark, how has it been operating this barn here for the last few months as far as cleaning it out and managing the calves?
Cleaning it out is simple. We usually have one pen empty, move the dirty pen into that, take the skid steer, scrape it out, pressure wash everything, start fresh. The calves like it. They love the group housing better than the individual housing. Is a definite plus.
So the group housing concept is something that's new to the watershed. In the past, all the calf facilities that we've installed have been built with individual calf pens. So you keep a space between them so there's no calf-to-calf contact. The automated calf feeder system, it allows us to go to a group pen setting where the calves have that socialization, are able to grow up in a group, which is more like the setting that they'll be in when they're adult cows and are in the barn. Frank, how has it affected the growth of the calves?
Now we can tell exactly because every time the calf goes to eat, she gets on a scale and that gets reported back to our phone. So we have a growth chart on every calf. We were always trying to double the calf's birth weight at weaning, but it's hard without weighing them, and now we have exact weights, so we know if a calf's born at 85 pounds and she is 170 at weaning, we know we're hitting our target weights. They're more than doubling every one. I mean, it's been great.
I wanted to highlight with the Albano's participation in the nutrient management program is the crop plan that we do annually with this farm. We figure out crop needs from a feed and forage inventory perspective. Then we decide, based on those needs, where each crop should be planted on fields.
Carrie's been doing a wonderful job with mapping all of our fields. I believe we have 250 some fields that she has to keep track of every year. Her and Dan Deisenross, we go over what we're planting where, what we're going to reseed, where to spread manures, what time of the year, so we don't have any of the runoff.
The end result is a crop plan book that we have. In that book there's some charts and some maps that show each tract of land, and they're color coded to show what crop should be planted where on each farm field.
The first year that we did that, we saved about $30,000 in crop expenses, and we've been able to increase yields by quite a bit. So through the years, we've actually been able to feed the cows on less acres, had a little more crop maybe to sell or turn into other products.
We try to average or estimate the average cost of production it will take to go into that crop year. We factor in things like their seed cost, fertilizer cost, herbicide or pesticides programs that they plan on using. The other thing that I wanted to mention that factors into both the crop plan and the nutrient management plan is manure distribution planning. This farm gets soil sampled every 3 years. And every 3 years we get an updated nutrient management plan, which is based on the NRCS 590 standards. What that plan does is tells the farm when, where, and how much they can spread safely across the farm to protect water quality. We want to try to avoid overspreading on nutrient-rich fields because they have the greatest risk of nutrient runoff, and instead get those nutrients on lower fertility fields that actually need those nutrients, and we will see a crop response from adding the manure nutrients onto them. Oftentimes it's more expensive to follow your nutrient management plan. To help offset those costs, WAC has a nutrient management credit program. They maintain nutrient management spreading records, so they write down the date that they spread, where they spread, how many loads they spread on each field. They turn in those records, I tally them, and I forward them on to a peer review. A group of farmers are actually the ones that look over these records and ultimately approve these records. Then they are awarded a nutrient management credit award, and that money can be used towards eligible expenses. There's a list of eligible expenses. A lot of them are related to manure handling. Guys, what have you used your credits for in the past?
We purchased some spreaders and tanks to go on trucks so we can move the manure the proper distances instead of just keeping it on the same fields and that the fields don't need it. The spreaders have been really big help.
There's no way we could afford to do that on that level by ourselves without that program. It's been great.
We pick goals and we set them and we hit them, and we know we're going to hit them now continuously with the planning, and it's not by guess, by gosh. It saves us countless hours.
We've taken a little bit of step further. We've done it on the harvest side where watershed team has come out and checked fields before harvest. So at harvest time with so many fields, we had a pretty good roadmap of what we were going to harvest and use it for what application, and it really streamlined that a lot.
WAC has been such a key player in the farm. My dad often says the water that comes off this farm is more valuable than the milk that comes off this ground, because how many people are drinking it and need it for everyday life in New York City. We used to do custom harvesting, and we traded a bill for some beef cows, and that's just kept growing and growing. And then we needed to find a way to make more profit off the beef cows, so I thought maybe we should start selling meat direct to customers, and it just took off when COVID started. I made a Facebook and an Instagram. We took it to the next step, got a website started, and we started shipping in the mail, and we shipped all the way to South Carolina, so we have more and more people order right online, and people love our product. Pure Catskills, they featured us in their magazine. It's pretty cool because customers can grab a book on their ride home, they could read through it and learn a little bit about us, where we came from, how we started.
Our sawmill, I've probably been doing that for about 15 years. I could run full time with it, but we limit ourselves. we're sawing a pretty good amount. We buy all of our timber from local harvesters around here, and that's been doing very well. We do a lot of live edge tabletops and pole barns and even house additions we've sawed out.
I feel that Delaware County has a lot of opportunity. I think expansion is definitely a key player anymore in the dairy business, and diversification, not having all your eggs in one basket, is definitely key.
And with the family growing, without being able to just add more cows, we needed other areas to branch off into to keep everybody busy, and that wants to stay home can stay home and work with us.
My roots kind of run deep in this ground. This is my home. I'm most comfortable here. And I do see a lot of opportunity where people don't. And I think that's very important is, in the negative times, finding ways to make it work and succeeding.